All right, everybody. Today is Monday, April 13th, and I just wanted to kind of go over a little bit about where we are and what we're going to be doing for our next kind of project. First of all, I hope you guys had a nice spring break. Not that you could go anywhere or do anything, but at least you didn't have work, hopefully, or too much work. So here's what we got going on. So you guys just finished going through some of those videos, from the crash course astronomy. They're pretty good. I hope you guys enjoyed those. We're not done after the solar system, which is what you guys kind of finished up with the introduction to the solar system. It then kind of goes through, the sun, and then Earth, moon, and then some of the planets and stuff like that. So, but at least we kind of got a little bit of an introduction to, when we stopped attending class daily, we were talking about orbital mechanics. This kind of talked a little bit about, from what we can see from our vantage point, looking up, into the sky, and how, that changes, and how obviously now there's so much light pollution where it makes it tougher for us to see it compared to, our ancestors from, thousands of years ago and all that. But anyway, we're gonna pause on this, going through these videos, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to this. We're gonna go to this virtual robotics project. So let me just do it, vr.vex.com. If we just do that really quickly, vr.vex.com, this is what pops up. Come on, buddy. There it goes. Okay. And so when we, when we started, it says when started, and then there are a bunch of things here. Well, instead of typing in the code like we had been, last year in POE, what I want you guys to do is we're just going to be going through a little bit of coding using these blocks. So there's like block coding. And I'm first just going to start by doing this. So let's say when started, drive forward 200 millimeters. Let's have it turn to a heading of 90 degrees. Let's see what that's all about. Drive another 200. Let's keep doing this, right? I want this to be, 180. And then 270. So I'm just going to show you really quickly what we got going on here. So it's going to drive, 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 drive. And then let's do this. Okay, so once I get this started, let's see what happens. Let's go to start. And then there's this playground that opens up. And then it kind of goes through and it does this little. So something weird happened there, huh? What happened? Let's go ahead and stop this. Let's go through. I drove. I went to 90. I drove. I went to 180. I drove. I went to 270. I drove. I went to, and then stop driving is what I should have said. So now let's go ahead and try this. You ready? So you can reset it, play it, and let's see what happens. This tells you it's driving, it's turning right. So again, what's going on here? Oh, I have turn right instead of turn to setting, right? Or turn to heading, I should say. And that should have been 180. Okay, so now let's see it. So it kind of does something fun like this. Oh, I have it going to, oh, it goes to 0 and it goes all the way around. Cool. Okay, so I just did a little square right there, right? That wasn't that interesting, but you can see up here there are grid maps, and you could go to different things like a wall maze or whatever it is, and now you can code over here. And if I just ran this code, right, which I didn't do for this because you can see it's going to go straight, and then, oh no, it's hitting the wall, and then it, and it doesn't do everything that it should be doing because of the, there are now like walls and everything else. So let's stop that, reset it. So then you could go through and, maybe go to A, then B, then C, then D, and then go to the checker flag or whatever it is. Here's what I want you guys to do though, okay? So right here, there are these like activities. So if you go to the activities and you go down to this castle color match, okay? You click on that and it kind of tells you the objectives and what you want to do. So your robot, so the robot that is there has sensors on it, and it has, I'll show you. So, okay, this is called disk transport, okay? So this is the one, where was I? This guy. That going down here, level 1, level 2. So it has a magnet on it, and I'll show you in just a little bit. And you use the magnet, you pick up and place all 4 disks of each color inside the correct colored goals located outside the castle walls. So you see this is the blue goal, the red goal, and the green goal. And so here's what it looks like. So for this, so I have coded a little bit over here. And so when let's reset, let's go ahead and start it. So you can see I have my guy going up, I have him turning, I have him go, I energize magnet to boost, which actually is like, it magnetizes it up, it goes down, and then it drops it off. And then I say, magnet to drop, and then it goes back up and it picks it up, right? Picks up the blue, and then it goes down and it drops off the blue where it needs to go. Now, if you have it go over here, it's going to pick up the red too. You don't want it to do that, so you have to avoid it picking up another guy. I dropped that guy off. Here I wanted it to kind of go more in like a diagonal, like an angled path. So I did that, but you could do whatever you want. Go, picks up a green, and then, goes and drops the green down. And that's all that I did. And this didn't take me too long to go ahead and code it so we would do this. But, and then I think I just have it. I forget where I stopped it. Oh yeah, I stopped it right there. So that it's able to go and then pick up other ones, okay? So this is under this vr.vex.com. And then if you go to these activities right here, the activity that we're doing, the first one that I want you to work on, and again, you can start off just by messing around a little bit, just by checking out, how this works. This little guy, which I opened up another one here, which, again, this guy just had doing a little square where it goes up and turns and whatever, which you can, obviously, this would be a perfect one for like a loop, which they do have all that. If you go down here, for like controls, it's like repeat 10 times, or if this, and then you could go down and you can set up variables and whatever else. So you can mess with that a little bit. I've been messing around with it a little bit just to kind of play around. But let's say instead of 200, we want it to be 1,000. Whoops. So now, we go ahead and do it, and it's gonna go through, and it's gonna go. You can see that each block is 200 by 200 millimeters. So then this is gonna go, and it's gonna do its own little square. Are you guys with me? I don't see anybody chatting or chiming in here. I know you're just kind of watching. You with me? Anybody? Yes. All right. Ava's there. So is Anthony. Cool. Okay.
I'm with you, Mr. Groller.
Yeah. I got to interact. This is like a human interaction other than my wife. This is great. This is
Okay, I wasn't sure if we were allowed to or not.
For sure. For sure. Okay. So,
Don't count it as human.
so here's something that when I was a kid in elementary school, we had, and I think I mentioned it maybe last year, my first introduction to coding was like this turtle, and the turtle was actually this like triangle, and it was on the screen, and then you had to like draw certain things, like you could draw your name or your initials or something like that, and it had like a pen, and you had to type in like pen down, and then forward, whatever, and the syntax was such that you had to type it exactly how it needed to be. Well, here you have these blocks, but you can also like for move robot pen down. So if you did that right here, and then you go ahead and start this guy, it's gonna draw what you want it to do. So, and at some point, if you wanted to, you could say move robot pen up, and then that would make it so it doesn't draw that line and it just moves the robot so we could pick up. But anyway, we have something like this, which is pretty fun. So I just drew a square, right? And then, this grid map there is this like art canvas, which is basically just like a blank canvas. But I think this starts you, right in the center. So, let's see this. If I did this guy, right? It's drawn its little square, but, oh, I'm going off of the page here. You can see that. So that didn't work nicely because I made that again, let's put this back to like 200 on each. But anyway, you could kind of see what you could do with this. Now, why are we doing this, Mr. Groller? This is an aerospace engineering class, and this has nothing to do with aerospace engineering. Kind of true. I'll give that to you. But two reasons why I want to do this. Number one is to kind of get you guys back to coding a little bit. And number two, remember we had our project where you had to build your robot, which was kind of like your rover on another planet or whatever. So like the rover had to go through and probe certain locations for water while avoiding certain obstacles, and so you had to like code it so it moved around and still got to the places where it needed to get to, probe in those locations, and then come back to like the starting point. So we did have this project at the end of the year where you did kind of get back to coding. So I want you guys to do that now, but instead of coding for your rover at a on a different planet, we're going to be coding putting these metal discs using your this is another kind of cool thing. So let's do this. So you could change how it looks, so you could go from there, and now this is like the point of view from like the just behind the rover. So as it goes through, you can see what it's doing. It's going through. It's kind of, and you can change the view just by clicking, and so it just picked up that metal disc. It dropped it right there. I had it back up, right? It's now turning, going forward, picking up that guy, right? So you can, I don't even know. I haven't messed too much with this, but it looked pretty interesting, and it's a way that we could code with Vex without actually having Vex parts, components, and all that. So anyway, this was my attempt of doing this game, and I just put one of each color into the boxes. But what I want you guys to do is to put all of the discs, which again, this is like the top-down view, right? So I want you to put all of the discs where they belong. I think, and I don't know, I haven't even attempted this. I think you could pick up more than one disc. So you could pick up the blue and then the second blue and then, the other three. I don't even know. But you might want to try that. But if you can't do that, then you might have to go one by one, but doing that. So for this week, this is the project I want you guys working on. Is this vr.vex.com, going in the activities, so for the activities, it's going to look like this. I want you to go on this castle color match. This guy pops up, and you're doing level 2. Level 2 is because, right, I just did level 1. Using the electromagnet, pick up and place at least one disc of each color inside the correct color goals located outside the castle walls. That's what I just did. But I want you guys to do level 2, which is place all 4 discs of each color inside the correct goals. Okay? That's what I'm going to have you guys do. I'm going to create an assignment in Google Classroom for this. And I want to have you guys, I don't know if you can share. Let me see. Can you share this? I don't know. Maybe not. But what you can do, well, you can mess around with that. If one of you guys can figure out how to share that, that'd be awesome. Otherwise, what I want you to do is at least take pictures with your phone of your computer screen of the, does that say share in top right? Oh, share up here. Bam. Let's see. Share. Let's see what this looks like. So then this, oh, it's a PDF. Open up, circle. Perfect. Okay, so when you hit that share on the right there, that's just saving your code to a PDF. So you're going to send that to me, but what I really want is I want to see the videos of your robots navigating through and doing this. That's what I want. So what I want you to send to me, whether you post it in the Google Classroom for the, the classwork right here. I'm going to do another one, which is, right? I'm going to do virtual Vex project. And what was that called? Castle.
Hey, what is your setup, Mr. Griller? Why is your keyboard on the side?
Fine, dude.
Okay, never mind. I was just wondering.
There's not enough space. So I have this right here is my symposium panel for my calculus class. I have that there. I have my laptop right behind that. And then my main desk portion is over that way, but my wife uses that side of it for her work, and I'm using this side for my work. And so anyway, all right. It's either I type on my laptop, like by going over my symposium panel, or I use my keyboard that was over there. Anyway, here's what we got going on. You ready? I'm gonna say do the castle color match activity and attach the code by using the share button on the top right of your screen, or by taking pics with your phones. And also a video of your project, of your robot navigating through the course. Did that make sense?
Yes.
Cool. All right. So I'm going to do that. All right. Yeah, what do you guys, I didn't even look at my background first. I still have my daughter loves doing that. She pull up little things. I got blankets, whatever. Okay. I think that's all I got for you. I mean, this is going to take you a little bit of time just to kind of see what's going on. Oh, one thing that I noticed is, so you can see in my code, I have like, whatever, drive forward a certain amount of, millimeters. Like I said, each block, the grid on here, each block of the grid is 200 millimeters by 200 millimeters. I think it says that. Yeah. Helpful hint, each square in the disk transport measures 200 by 200. And the electromagnet is at the front of the robot. So anyway, and then this kind of tells you pick up and drop disks using boost and drop settings on the energized magnet button, block. So this kind of goes through some of that. I feel like I was going to say something else. You might want to just go through and, oh yeah, this is what I was going to say. So at first, when I first started doing this, I had drive forward, whatever, and then you have to put stop driving. After you drive, you have to hit stop driving and then turn. But when I did like turn right or turn left, you then have to put a wait 1 second on there, because it's like turn right, but then it goes right to the next guy. It doesn't actually allow you time to turn. So anyway, that's something. And when you say turn right or turn left or turn right for 90 degrees, it's interesting in that it kind of like how our robots work. It's not necessarily exactly accurate every time. So it'll turn, let's say I wanted it to move forward and then turn left. It might turn left, but it might go like 91 degrees or 88 degrees or something like that. So it doesn't make it like a perfect turn if you just use like the turn. However, if you have turn to heading, and now if you put 270 degrees there, what happens is it goes up and then it spins 3/4 of a rotation. Instead of negative 90 degrees, it just turns how you want it to turn. So anyway, you can mess with it a little bit. You can use some, like I said, some of these like repeats or whatever, or, if you have certain, like if every time you have it collect and go back to the same spot, and then from that point, it's like the same to bring it to the blue or to the red or to the green, right? If you made it go to right there every time, and then there's one code that drops off to the blue and then puts you back there. And then another that brings you to the red and drops it back there. And another that goes to the green and drop. Whatever you want to do, you can make it your own. Like I showed you when I did my green, I wanted it to be not so it was only making 90-degree turns, but I have it so that my what was that? So this dropped that there, and then it went and it just gets this guy and puts that back in the blue. And then from here, I said, you know what? Instead of going only up and only to the right and only up and to the right, I'm like, what if I angle this? So I just tried, I think like, where am I down here? 75 degrees and then 15 degrees. And, you know, I'm just messing with it so it can do that. So it was a little bit different. And then I had it go and drop the green. And I dropped them all back near the bottom of these so that I could place the other 3 in here a little bit easier. Anyway, that's what I got going for you. I hope that makes sense.
Wait, real quick, Mr. Griller, you said that you didn't know if it was only able to hold one disc at a time or not?
Yeah, I have not seen if it can hold more than 1 disc at a time.
Okay, gotcha.
So you guys can check that out. What does this do? Oh, it just is on. So yeah, you guys, you do that, mess with it a little bit, but that's your goal. Your goal is to get all 4 of the blue in the blue, all 4 in the red in the red, and all 4 of the green in the green. All right. And what I like about this is not only can, you know, are you doing something that is coding, like the logic is kind of, you know, you got to make sure that you do things in order and you think about things clearly. But I also like that I'm actually going to be able to see if you've done this, unlike the videos. The videos that I put up there, I'm hoping you guys all watch those because they are, you know, good. And, you know, it's interesting. I feel like so much that I could give you, but it's like sifting through everything and seeing what I think is going to be good for you, but not too much, because I know a lot of you guys have a lot of other classes that are requiring a lot, and this isn't elective, but I want you to actually move forward and do stuff. So I think this is a good balance. It's kind of like a game. As I was doing it, I had my son Evan sitting on my lap, and he thought it was fun, especially the view where you can see it as, you know, as it's driving along. You know, it's kind of like a fun little game. So have fun with that. If you want to also do some of the other activities like drawing your name, or you know, you're kind of using it as like a, you know, drawing an image, and they have different colors. You can, you know, you can for the pen, it says set robot pen color to, so you could set it to blue. So if I put that here, and then you go through, then it's going to draw it in blue. At first I thought that was black again, but that's blue. You could change the color so it goes blue, then red, then green, then black, whatever. Anyway, you could mess around a little bit with this, but what I want to see is for you guys to do this guy, the castle one. All right? Any questions for me? No questions? Doing
Mr. Griller, I was gonna say you should do a disc transport speed run.
disc transport speed run.
Yeah, and then like at the end of our project, like when we turn it in, you should like see how fast you can do it, and whoever has the fastest like wins.
Whoever has the fastest wins. You know, there is one thing that I saw about, I don't know if you can speed up at all. Oh yeah, set drive velocity. Look at this. Bam, suckers.
No way.
Hold on, let me see this really quickly. What's the maximum you could do? 1,000%. Let's do it. Hold up. Let's
Yeah, Vex car moving at Mach 6.
Ready? That's 1,000%. Come on, dude. See, and I even have it waiting. Yeah. This can't be 1,000%. I wonder what the maximum. I think there's even a turn velocity too, or something like that. Oh yeah, turn velocity. Yeah, the turning is what. Okay, okay. Yeah, so you could go through and you can mess a little bit with the speed of it. But yeah, let's do it. So the main assignment is get this done. The next assignment is, or I should say, added on to this assignment is try to get it done in as quick of a time as, is there a time? No, there's just distance. Anyway, we'll go through and see who can do
I
it.
read MM as nautical mile.
MM as NM.
Yeah, and M because I'm blind and dumb.
Sweet, yeah. So nautical miles. That's pretty fun. Cool. All right. So do that. All right. We got this. Anything else? Any other questions? Anything for me?
That's it. We won't let you down, Mr. Roller.
I know you won't. I know it's going to be the best project I've ever seen. Out of all of the other classes that I've assigned this to, I bet you guys are going to be the best. Because I have never assigned this is the main reason for that, but also because you guys are pretty awesome. Cool. All right, y'all. Do your thing. Chicken wing. I'm going to put my keyboard back so my wife doesn't get mad at me. All right. Cool, guys. And then I'm going to say have this done before next Monday. So basically, of all week, including the weekend. It's not due by Friday. It's due before next Monday. So, but like I said, maybe do other things too. If you're able to do this quickly, draw something awesome. You can do a bunch of like spirally things and stuff like that. And with the repeat a certain number of times, that makes it easy to do a bunch of fun things. You have it go through, turn just a little bit, and then go through and then turn a little bit, and then you can make these awesome designs. So maybe do something else like that too. But this is the only project that I'm assigning. All right, cool, rock and roll. I'm gonna post this video on the on my website. So if you know anybody else was not here, then point them to my website. I'll also put that in Google Classroom that it's posted on there. All right, guys. Have a good week. And if you ever want to either email or comment on the Google Classroom, then I'll get to you that way. All right? Cool. Have a good week, guys.